With the 14th pick in the 2023 NHL Draft, the Pittsburgh Penguins have taken center Brayden Yager from Moose Jaw. Gil Martin here alongside our prospects expert Hadi Kalakeche. And right now it's great to welcome Hunter Hodies from Locked On Penguins to talk about this. And Hunter, you nailed this pick in our mock draft.
I did. I was actually surprised considering I had him a little lower on my board after I finished up my draft prep, but took a swing for the fences. I knew that Kyle Dubas met with him, and I just said, you know what? I think this is going to be someone that they pick. But I'm not truly surprised. I think Yager has a top 5 shot in this class. He just needs to keep using it to his advantage. You saw his goal scoring ability go down a little bit this past season, played in 4 more games, scored 6 less goals, but I think he wanted to work on his two-way game a little bit more, become more of a playmaker. He had 25 more assists this past season. That's promising, but I still want him to use his shot a lot more because, again, I don't think there's 3 to 5 players in this draft that have a better shot than him.
Hadi, your thoughts about this pick and the value at 14?
It's a bit of a reach, in my opinion. There are some concerns with Yager's game in terms of his two-way game, his awareness, especially, and just genuinely being an impactful player rather than a finisher. He loves to create. He loves to finish. He's worked a lot on his playmaking, which is really, really good for his game. And like Hunter mentioned, the goal scoring is top 5 in this draft. His in-stride wrister is in the top 5 for sure, probably even top 3. He's got a great one-timer from the hash marks as well. He offers goal scoring upside, and he's made his playmaking a slightly above average element of his game. I just have some concerns with the overall impact of his game in all 3 zones and just the projectability of it. Because his game isn't as inside driven as a lot of players that I have in my top 10 or top 15. Nevertheless, you're getting a top 5 scorer in this draft out of Brayden Yager, and yet another Brayden drafted out of Moose Jaw in the WHL. I can't count the amount of Braydens there are in the dub in general. There's just a lot of Braydens there. But the last ones that were drafted were Brayden Tracy and Brayden Point. So anywhere in between that range of player would be great for Brayden Yager here.
Is his defense a big concern?
It is a concern. I wouldn't say it's a massive concern because if it was, he wouldn't be in the top 15 of this draft. But it's definitely something that holds him back, and it's something that I would have a lot of trouble seeing him improve because it's an issue with his baseline awareness rather than just positioning and just knowledge. It's an issue with understanding and anticipating threats in the defensive zone. Now, that's harder to work on than a player who just doesn't know yet what to do, but has the awareness to eventually catch up to it. So I'd say, it's about it's a below average trait. The issue with me is I have trouble seeing it climb up to an average or above average trait. So more likely than not, you're getting a scoring winger out of Yager rather than a responsible scoring center.
Hunter, how does Yager fit into the Penguins' future as you're looking at this transition? Some of these older players going to start winding their careers down.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be ready for at least another 3 years minimum. I think it's maybe going to take a little longer than that. I think Hadi mentioned it. He does need to work on the defensive aspect of his game. I do think if he does make it to the league, it's going to be because of his shot. And he got back to basics a little bit in the playoffs, scored 6 goals in 10 games. So I like that. He just has to be less selfish in that area and just rip the puck to the net. But I think 3 years minimum is when he's in Pittsburgh. By that point, Crosby and Malkin and Letang are in their late 30s into their early 40s, but he's not going to be making an impact to the team, at least for the next couple of years to maybe 3 to 4 years down the road.
All right. Well, for more on this selection and all the Penguins' other moves, both in the draft and in free agency, tune into Locked On Penguins for free on your favorite podcast app or on YouTube. It's all part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.